Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to explain to you guys how to make GFX in my way. There's obviously tons of videos out there on YouTube already on how to make GFX. This will be a more in-depth tutorial on how to make sure that you don't make any mistakes, because when I just started out I made many. You can also use 3D and layered clothes with this, so I'll explain that further in the video as well. And there's a few stuff that you need. You will need a PC or a laptop, you will need to have Blender, Roblox Studio, you need avatars, and you will need a download file that I will leave down in the description, and it is for Blender to just capture all your rigs. Alright, let's start and let's get creative. In Roblox Studio you want to start with a new file or open a file where you have your outfits inside. If you don't have any outfits, you can use this plugin called Tabby that you see on the left side. You can spawn in, for example, yourself and then just any current outfit, and when you click on import it will just spawn in a rig of that one. In my case I already have 4 outfits that I'm going to use for a game thumbnail, so I will not use this rig in this case. So first thing that is very important is that you want to save all of these outfits in each individual folder, else the textures will get messed up. Okay, so now to export them, first of all we want to open the properties channel. If you go to window, then you can open up the properties and you want to type in POS for position, and the origin position we want to change that to 0. So we type in 0 and hit enter, and then you can see that it goes into the spawn point because that's like the origin position. So now you can export it, so you right click it and then do export as OBJ, and then you want to make sure that you have like a folder. So in my case I have like a PK folder because I already did it for the first one, and you cannot now also save the second outfit, for example, in the first outfit. So I've done the first one already and I called it 1. If I would do my second outfit in here, it will get all messed up. So we make a new folder, and I will just call it like 2 because it's the second outfit, and I'll call the OBG as well just 2. Alright, so now this is exported as an OBG. Okay, now we are in our Blender file, and what I like to start off with is make a new collection actually. So we're going to scene collection, right click it and add a new collection where we can import our first outfit in. So click on file, import, and choose for OBG, and we are going to look for our folder. Alright, so what we can do is just type in PK, then it will show up, and we go for the first one, and we turn on split by group. And then we choose for OBG and not the MTL one, because then else you won't see your outfit. Alright, as you can see it's turned around, so we are going to rotate this. And I like to be exact, so I type in 180 degrees. And then we look from forwards and then we see it's a bit down, so we move it up. I usually go for like 3 studs, so I just know what to do for the other outfits. And since we put it into a collection, we can now also easily hide this. And if we have like multiple outfits, then it's a bit easier this way to hide different outfits and like make small changes. Anyway, we can select all of these UGCs, and if we click on this viewport thing, then we can also see the textures. And then also the lights that were like around this thing, that will also be hidden depending on your Blender version actually. So now we can get ahead and go with posing. If you have this issue that your arrow point is not on the UGCs, what you can do is basically select all of your UGCs and parts and everything. You go to Objects, Set Origin, and then Origin to Geometry. Then now if you click on something, the arrow will be now on the UGC, which makes it a lot easier to move around everything how you like. And that's what you want to do first. Just start moving around the UGCs, make things smaller or whatever, and see if they are clipping or not. As you can see at this point, like the piercings are way too forward, as is this like hair clip as well. So you can just go ahead and like move them around until you like them. Now, another tip that is to make things easier is by selecting each of the UGCs with like shift, like what is like in one part. So for example, for the head, I want to do the hair, the piercings, eyeglasses, the cap and everything. And you want to join them with Ctrl G. And so that's now inside like one OBG, one part. So if you move it around, it will all move together. And if you want to do the fix it again, then do origin to geometry. So now the move arrow is back to its position. And I want to do this also for our other parts. So for example, the necklace to the torso, since also one part with the neck. And for the layered clothing, for example, like these arm cuffs, I'll also like screencast my key so you know what I'm exactly clicking on the bottom side. Anyways, what we want to do is duplicate it. So Shift D, then we want to click so it's on the exact same spot. Now we have it like a duplication of our bracelets. We want to click on Tab to go into edit mode. And now we want to make sure that we have this selected, because then we are able to select everything from the back of whatever we select as well. So if we select something, it's also like picking up whatever is on the all sides. So now we have it selected, and then we want to click on X, and then for vertices to delete that part. As you can see, it's now an individual part, and we can move it around. And if we click on the other side, then you see it has like, it's duplication, so it still has the other side. So we delete that part the same way by clicking X and vertices. And then we go back, and now we have our individual parts of our layered clothing. And we can do the same for the other one. Now I'm just going to join the parts together that I think that should be joined, so like the underarm and the bracelets, and just by Ctrl G. Do the same on the other side as well. And I will leave the hands just how they are, because we might want to move them around as well. So I like to join these as well, like the belt and the skirt, because they're basically looking like one part. And I will leave the torso like not attached to the skirt. Then for this one, it's also a layered clothing, and it might be easier to grab like the under leg as well from this part, because as you can see, like when you move around the boot, then like a part of the leg is deleted because it's a layered clothing. It does that. So I just want to join these together so it's easier to like pose them later on. And now everything that we have like selected now is in one part, and makes it so much easier to just move around all the stuff. Alright. Okay, now I'm just going to like pose the avatar, and how I do this is just by playing around with the move tool. With like with R you can rotate, you can also use the rotation tool. For a move you can use G, or just move it around with the move tool. So what I do is just play around with it. There's nothing really wrong that you can do. It's just however it looks good to you is like fine. You just look from all angles, move them all around. And that's about it. So that's why I'm just speeding it up, because it's just me doing and repeating the same steps. You can be creative with like the UGCs that you have. So for example, a bag, you can put that on one arm, or you can, for example, if you have a phone, have it hold in the hand, or whatever you want. So you can be really creative. And you can obviously also, like when you use Ctrl Z, For example, in this case, I don't really like the arm position, and I liked how it looked like this. And then in the end, I just select everything and just move it like slightly towards like one side, so it looks more playful. And you can then also like play with the camera. So I like the position how this one is, but yeah, as you can see, like the hair is like clipping through the body. So to fix that, I'm just selecting that part, and I'm going to make sure that the X-ray is still on, and I'm just going to make a selection, but just from a point of view where it doesn't like select everything like from the back as well. So I like how it looks now. It's not selected like from the back of the hair. So then I turn this option on, use the move tool, and then I will just move it around. And as you can see, like the back of the hair like moves with it as well. So it's more natural, else it will look like very harsh. If you want it to be like less moving, then you can scroll around with your middle mouse button. And then with R, I can rotate it so it just looks a bit more like natural. And as you can see, now it's fixed. So this is how I like the avatar. So now we can get to rendering. So if you want to render, you click on render and an image, and as you can see, like it's from the camera point of view. And yeah, if you want, we can also change the lighting for it. So in this case, it's like a warm light on the right side, a cool side on the left. And we can, for example, make this more of a pink hue on the avatar, or whatever color you want. So in lights, you can open and then look to like in material, you'll see something called warm and cold, and depending on whatever you change, it will just like have one side a different color. So I just make sure to like copy this color, so if I want to change the back, then I can go back to that. But yeah, I will just change it to like whatever pink color I like and render it again. And now you can see like it has a pink hue, which I really like. I might just keep this as well. And yeah, now your PNG is done and we can use it to edit this. We go to image, save a copy. And just in your downloads folder, you can, for example, just call it 1 or whatever you want. Save as an image, and we can get to editing now. For editing your GFX, you can use any program you like. I like to use Canva because I'm used to using Canva. But there's also Photopea, I think, and other programs you can use. Or Photoshop, of course, but I mean, it's a paid program, so it's up to you. I just like to play around with like the hue and everything. I like to add like a shape on the back and just have like 4 where it like kind of like accentuates like the outfits on the thumbnail. You can use any background you like. I mean, Pinterest is a great tool, obviously, and yeah, you can just play around with it however you like. So there's like full creative freedom. You don't have to do exactly what I do, obviously. You're free to do whatever you want. And obviously, if you would do it for like a profile picture, then you would do it differently. Then you just might be adding just a background to it, have it more like the face like centered in the profile picture. But yeah, it depends on whatever you make. I like to add, for example, like sparkles, but you can add anything you like. You can even add like a shade or shadows or like small icons. I like to use Text Studio for like the text and everything. For example, this Gothic text that I found. I think it fits the theme. So I added that one. You can also use the normal text function from Canva, but this way you have like more interesting looking avatars. And I also add like a shade to this so it's more readable. But yeah, that's basically it. And then you're done with your GFX. And that was it for this video. I hope this was helpful, and if you do have any questions, you can leave them down below in the comment section, of course. But if you need like specific help or you need to showcase me something, you can also join my server. It's discord.gg/xalex, and if I'm unable to answer your question, then there's other people that will love to help you as well. So I hope to see you there and to see your work as well. If you are looking for commissions or anything else, You can also join the server and find customers that way. Alright, get creative and enjoy. Have a nice day. Bye bye.